Hi, if you want to watch exclusive content with hot girls that you won't watch on YouTube, namely where Naruto roasts Kushina and Mikoto and many other hot girls without restrictions, then visit my Boosty channel at the link in the description.
Yeah, that's not how I expected to die. But I took revenge on them, I destroyed them. And I don't care that now 40% of the Earth's land is destroyed. Let them know who they created. This is not how I imagined death. Although what difference does it make? No matter how you look at it, heaven is not shining for me. I am floating in the void, with countless lights nearby. What will happen if I get closer to them? Here I swam towards one. A dim gray light began to slowly approach in response. I became interested, how to swallow it. But I didn't have to think for long, he merged with me himself, and I increased in size a little. By the way, I forgot to describe myself. I look like the same light, only black, with red and small white flashes. In my opinion, probably 70 to 80 centimeters. After the merger, I grew a whole centimeter. And now I have memories of when I was a teenager. I always read stories about time travelers and wanted to get into some anime. A childhood dream has come true. All that's left is to make or get a system, and that's it. I'm ready to explore the universe. But how to make this system or where to look for it, I don't know. But I decided to simply absorb other lights in the hope that this way I can become stronger and fulfill my old dream. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. The main thing is not to forget my life, all my memories and dreams. I'll try to keep track of time to somehow distract myself from boredom. 25 years 8 months 13 days later. I'm so tired of all this. During this time I grew from 80 centimeters to 2.5 meters, and with every centimeter it becomes more and more difficult to grow. And one more time I came across a strange soul. I called it strange because it was the soul of a damn fox. The nine-tailed fox. He was a little bigger than me, but very aggressive and almost swallowed me. But I was able to overcome him and swallow him. After that, I began to change. I began to have small appendages in the form of tails, and my white shade of the soul began to increase. Now these are not small glimpses, but full-fledged white lines mixed with red and black. But the main news, during all this time I figured out how to create a system. And I started trying to create a system like in Leveling Up Alone, and I succeeded, but not quite what I planned. But there is status and something like AI. Status. Name. Level, 78, 48.9%. Race, Warfox. Luck, 100. Life, unavailable. Regeneration, not available. Energy, 100,000 units. Energy regeneration, 100 units/SEC. Strength, not available. Dexterity, not available. Stamina, not available. Intelligence, 200. Wisdom, 100. Free points, 10. Skills. Sword Art, level 56. Hand-to-hand combat, level 76. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 78. Cooking, level 98. Cartography, level 67. Energy management, level 110. Relationship with the elements. Earth, 10%. Water, 10%. Wind, 10%. Fire, 60%. Darkness, 50%. Light, 30%. Chaos, 15%. Order, 3%. Space, 19%. Time, 16%. And I called the AI Vega. I suffered with it. I literally coded all this on my soul. What can I say? It's scary, unpleasant, and dangerous. I don't want to repeat all this. But it was worth it. Now I have someone to talk to. Hey, Vega, how much longer do you think we'll be here? I asked. Not too long. There is a spatial anomaly about 7 kilometers away from you that is supposedly capable of transporting you to another world. Vega said. Vega, please tell me why you didn't tell me before that you can feel them already? I shouted. You didn't ask, he said. Without saying anything else, I moved in the direction Vega indicated. Well, new world? Wait for me. I thought and entered the anomaly. Oh my god, was all I could say during the transfer before everything went dark and I lost consciousness. Vega's voice brought me back to my senses. Sir, we have arrived in a world that according to your memories is called Naruto. At the moment, I am scanning the time period according to canon so that you can navigate the time before the beginning of the story, said Vega. Thank you for your work, Vega. Can you show me the statistics, please? And tell me why I'm in some room? I asked, because looking around I realized that if I was to believe my surroundings then I was somewhere. Well, how can I say that? It would be better to remain silent. No problem. You are in the Leaf Village, 19 years before the canon in an orphanage. You are an abandoned child of the Uchiha clan, and you also have the Senju genes. Thanks to this you have the opportunity to awaken the Rinnegan and improve it. Status. Name. Body age, 1 year 10 months. Level 78, 48.9%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Luck, 100. Life, 120. Regeneration, 10 units/SEC. Energy, 100,000. Energy regeneration, 100 units/SEC. Strength, 9. Dexterity, 9. Stamina, 12. Intelligence, 200. Wisdom, 100. Free points, 10. Skills. Sword Art, level 56. Hand-to-hand combat, level 76. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 78. Cooking, level 98. Cartography, level 67. Energy management, level 113. Relationship with the elements. Earth 15%. Water 15%. Wind 10%. Fire 65%. Lightning 20%. Darkness 50%. Light 30%. Wood 5%. Chaos 15%. Order 3%. Space 19%. Time 16%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with Senju genes, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with Uchiha genes, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. Well, I expected the worst. To be honest, I thought I was reborn as a crazy electric broom. So what name should I take? I'm in Japan now, so to speak. The name Maxim doesn't suit me anymore. I think I'll take the name Shiro. Let it be. Vega, change your name to Shiro. And take control of your body until you graduate from the orphanage. And behave without attracting attention, I don't want to get to the root of it. I said, because I don't really want to wet myself for another 7 to 8 months. Of course. I'll take control. Vega said before I passed out. After 2 years 10 months and 2 days. I woke up 2 days before leaving the orphanage, feeling like I had a terrible hangover. Ooh. Hello Vega. Did something happen while I was sleeping? I said, walking up to the mirror and examining my body. And I was very surprised. At 4, I looked like I was 6. Athletic body, long ash blonde hair about to my waist, red eyes with a slight golden outline, slightly pale skin and sharp but beautiful features. At least in this life I am a handsome man. Nothing special, but I recommend you to hide your energy level and keep it within 10,000, otherwise there may be problems with your conspiracy plan. And also I learned about the average statistics of shinobi from Genin to Kage. Vega pleased me. Thank you. I replied and began to look at the statistics. Statistics. Strength 15, Genin 30, Chunin 60, Jonin 100, Kage, Shinobi limit 500. Dexterity 15, Genin 30, Chunin 60, Jonin 100, Kage, Shinobi limit 500. Stamina 20, Genin 40, Chunin 70, Jonin 120 Kage, Shinobi limit 600. Energy 2000, Genin 10,000, Chunin 15,000, Jonin 20,000 Kage, Shinobi limit 50,000. Intelligence 10, Genin 30, Chunin 60, Jonin 100 Kage, Shinobi limit 500. Wisdom, there is no criterion. Yeah, if I'm going to work hard, I'm going to work hard. By the way, it turns out that I have the same energy as Shikaku, one-tailed Bijou? I asked Vega. Yes. That's why I recommend hiding the energy up to 10,000 to avoid disclosure. During your entire sleep, I trained my body. And also during training, the Sharingan with one Tomo was awakened. Another good news for today. I almost started jumping around the room with joy. And also ANBU came and checked the children for the presence of an active chakra source, and it was reported that upon reaching 8 years old, you need to go to the academy. Vega continued. Okay, thanks for your help. Show me your status. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age. 4 years. Level 81, 35.7%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Life, 180. Regeneration, 15 units/SEC. Energy, 100,000. Energy regeneration, 100 units/SEC. Strength, 10. Dexterity, 10. Stamina, 18. Intelligence, 200. Wisdom, 100. Free points, 19. Skills. Sword Art, level 56. Hand-to-hand combat, level 76. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 78. Cooking, level 98. Cartography, level 67. Energy management, level 113. Language skills, max level. Relationship with the elements. Earth 15%. Water 15%. Wind 10%. Fire 65%. Lightning 20%. Darkness 50%. Light 30%. Wood 5%. Chaos 15%. Order 3%. Space 19%. Time 16%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with Senju genes, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with Uchiha genes, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, not active. 3 Tomo, not active. Yeah, but now, even though I'm weak, I can reach the level of Genin. I need to train my body to what it was in the past world, and considering that there's a lot of chakra here, it's easier to do than in my past life. Then I can practice my skills. By the way, Vega, I'll never believe that I'm the only time traveler. Scan the entire village and find out if there are others like me. I asked out of interest, if I swallowed his system and fed it to Vega, would he be able to absorb the new functions? Yes, Shiro, there are only 2 time travelers. The first one is in Akio Hyuga and the second one is in Kobonara, Vega said. I will need to find out more about them, but now I'll sleep. It's strange, I just woke up, but I already want to sleep. Well, tomorrow is a big day for me. I said, approaching the bed. Bye everyone. Hello everyone. I'm already 7 years old and today according to Vega's calculation is Naruto's birthday, and Minato and Kushina's death. Yeah, he's unlucky, his birthday is the day his parents died. But I'm not going to change the canon too much. After all, I want to talk to Kagaya, I've always felt sorry for her. She was betrayed by people dear to her. She's like me. I said walking into the kitchen. Ah. I didn't tell you what happened during all this time. Well, I found out that I am half an energy entity. As it turns out, I now need less food, much less, and also if my head is cut off, nothing terrible will happen. It can grow back or just attach the cut off one and it will grow back. I don't know how it works, but it works and everything else that is needed. And so with all the limbs, which is very pleasing. I learned a lot about other time travelers. Firstly, the time traveler in Hyuga is a loser. Not only is he blind, but his chakra channels are damaged, and as Vega said, he has a system that can be absorbed and transformed. This made me happy and I immediately began to look for a way to kill him. And it turned out to be very simple. He goes to the 13th training ground for training. As I understand it, he trains with the help of his system. After absorbing his system, Vega said that he would be unavailable for 2 hours. While there was time, I quickly went to the 6th training ground. After the time had passed, Vega pleasantly surprised me. It turned out that he had a system with a store and inventory. No, not with inventory. Yes, that's right, because thanks to Vega I learned that it is similar to a personal subspace. It turns out that if I improve this space, it will turn into my personal domain the size of a planet, and since it is tied to my soul, only I or those to whom I put a special seal will be able to enter it. He also had some kind of starter set that he didn't use, which contained 100,000 Ryo, some kind of katana, 5 healing potions and 4 scrolls with techniques. As I understood, these were techniques, replacement, shadow clones, henge and the so-called shunshin, about 40 kunai. And the second one has the same as the first one, only more money, but I had to fight him. If it weren't for the skills from my old life, I would have to start all over again. And I don't really want to do that. Our fight wasn't very long, but he was able to dodge 2 kunai from a blind spot and attack me with a dozen kunai in response. It's good that he was weaker than the academy graduates, otherwise our skirmish would have attracted a lot of attention, which I don't need. And I hid the corpses first in the forest of death, and then in the inventory. Suddenly they will come in handy. Well, that's enough for now. During this time, I've become a little weaker than the average chunin and am slowly approaching the strength of a jonin. I think that by the time I graduate from the academy, I'll be a little weaker than a kage. And now it seems that Kurama has broken free. I think I'll do everything so that part of Kurama is sealed in me. I just need to run to where it happens. So I run up to the barely alive Kushina and try to heal her, but it doesn't work, and then I have a question: how is she still alive? Are all her organs a mess? Okay, so Minato teleported and runs to us. What are you doing here? He growled at me and wanted to throw me away, but Kushina left him with words. Minato, he's trying to heal me, stop. We need to seal the fox. She told him with a serious look. Okay, I will seal half of the fox into Naruto and the other into this boy. He told us, but Kushina started scolding him and telling him that it was wrong, but she calmed down after looking at my calm smile and hearing my words. Don't worry Kushina-san, I understand everything. It is the duty of a shinobi to protect their family and homeland. What kind of shinobi would I be if I turned away from my village? I said, looking at her with the same smile, and then turned to Minato and seriously said, Minato-san, I will do everything in my power to make your child live better. He nodded and told Naruto to come and sit next to him. And under Kushina's sobs he summoned Shinigami and everything went as planned. And as they say, canon is trying to come true. Naruto was sent to an orphanage and given the last name Uzumaki. And I was simply left, but assigned 3 ANBU fighters for surveillance, but because of the clones, this does not bother me much. A week has passed since then. I still train. And today I decided to visit Kurama. I sit down to meditate in my bedroom and after a while I appear in my subconscious. Well, what can I say? I like the huge clearing next to the ocean, and a little further there is a giant cage in which a huge fox lies. Well, I'll see his reaction. Hello, Mr. Fox, I said in a calm voice, which caused a sea of emotions. Snotty boy, do you even know who I am? The fox shouted. Yes, I answered, which caused a wave of surprise. Then why aren't you afraid? He asked with interest. Why should I be afraid of someone like me? I said, after which I began to transform into a fox slightly smaller in size than Kurama himself, from which he could only look with his mouth open and his eyes huge. No, how can eyes be so huge? As a result, there was silence for 5 or 6 minutes. After which I decided to dispel this silence. Maybe you could say something? This silence is a bit oppressive. I said calmly but a little embarrassed, but in my heart I was laughing as hard as I could. You were created by your father too, the fox began to shout, but stopped when he saw that I was shaking my head. No, I was born like normal children. By the way, my name is Shiro, and what is your name? I asked calmly and lay down next to the cage. After another minute of silence he answered. My name is Kurama, kid. He told me, after which he started laughing really loudly. Ha 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 ha, I never thought that I would be sealed in another fox. He laughs. Kurama-san, when I was next to you, I saw that you were under someone's control. But who was able to catch you? I tried to establish communication. It's all those damned Uchihas with their eyes. And not any san. He snorted, looking like he didn't want to continue this conversation. He had to change the subject. Okay. Can you tell me a little about yourself, and I'll tell you about myself? I asked, hoping to learn something about the past. Okay. Just tomorrow, because today there is too much information to process, he said, yawning, and I began to emerge from my subconscious. I go into the kitchen, brew some green tea and begin to mentally communicate with Vega through a separate stream of consciousness. Well, Vega. How do you propose to train further? We found the old place, but there is no other one in Konoha? I asked. I have good news for you. I finished the full absorption and fusion of systems yesterday, and now you have full access to the store and the new dungeon function where you can level up and train. The time ratio is 1 to 10, and due to the affinity with time and space, it can be improved to 1 to 1000, 1 hour in the normal world is 10 hours in the dungeon. Vega shocked me, so much so that I almost fell. Okay Vega, tomorrow morning we'll go to the dungeon. That means by the time I graduate from the academy I'll be stronger than the Kage. I thought with a happy smile. Today I woke up early in the morning at about 5:30. As I said yesterday, I'm going to the dungeon. But before that I'll create a clone and send him for a walk around Konoha. And I'll also need to take some food and water with me, because I decided to spend the whole day there. And according to the calculations it turns out that it won't be 1 day, but 24. So, Vega, what dungeon are we going to? I asked. We can go to 4 different dungeons. The first is just a clearing with no monsters. The second is a clearing with rats and giant cockroaches. The third has zombies and ghouls, and there is a legion boss at the end of the level. The fourth has mythical animals, and the boss of this level is an old dragon. You can go straight to the third one since your level meets the criteria. Vega said. Okay then, send me there and pull me out if something goes wrong, I replied and prepared for the transfer. After moving to the dungeon, I found myself in a field surrounded by a barrier. As I understand it, this is a safe place, the so-called starting location. Well, this will be my camp for the first time. Having explored everything around, I realized that the further I went, the more zombies and ghouls there were. Well, as I expected. They walk in small groups, well, it's easier for me. It was with these words that the genocide of mobs began. What's strange is that zombies are quite durable. But they can't walk with their heads cut off, and when they die, they turn to dust almost instantly. Here's another zombie. I just run by and swing my katana and the head falls off the shoulders, attracting the ghouls that were nearby. Before they can turn around they get the kunai I threw at their heads and turn to dust. And 21 days passed at this pace. According to Vega, after killing the last zombie, this legion will appear. With each kill, the other mobs became stronger and stronger, to the point that on the last one, I had to use a healing potion. It's scary to think what it will be like. And then I cut off the head of the last one and an inscription pops up in front of me. Attention, in 5 minutes the boss of the location legion will be called. Okay. I have time to rest and get ready, I said, sitting down on the ground. After some time, a huge cloud of black liquid began to appear at the edge of the field. Attention, the boss of the location legion has been summoned. And a huge, almost 7-meter zombie with 4 arms in which there were clinics and 2 heads will appear in front of me. Immediately rushing at me, he loses 1 arm, but he was already able to defend himself from another blow. Having retreated 10 meters, I prepared to launch a fireball, only now I understood the value of this technique. Aiming at the other hand, I hit and deprive it of mobility, blocking a return blow with my katana and retreating again. And having repeated this trick several more times, it was easy to deprive him of his arms and legs. Approaching the still whole heads, I began to fold hand seals, releasing the technique of great fire destruction, completely burning the remains of the boss, and after that a notification appeared in front of me. Congratulations on your first run through the Legion boss, the reward has been placed in your inventory. Vega, show me the status, I said after moving back to my room. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 7 years. Level 111, 39.7%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Life, 450. Regeneration, 40 units/SEC. Energy, 115,000. Energy regeneration, 400 units/SEC. Strength, 35. Dexterity, 32. Stamina, 45. Intelligence, 221. Wisdom, 110. Free points, 109. Skills. Sword art, level 80. Hand-to-hand combat, level 93. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 92. Cooking, level 110. Cartography, level 75. Energy management, level 140. Language skills, max level. Relationship with the elements. Earth 25%. Water 25%. Wind 20%. Fire 76%. Lightning 40%. Darkness 65%. Light 49%. Wood 15%. Chaos 24%. Order 8%. Space 22%. Time 22%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, not active. 3 Tomo, not active. Well, I think that's all for today, I said and went to bed. It's been 2 months since that dungeon visit. After I woke up, I decided to leave checking the store for later. By the way, for completing the dungeon I was given 5,000 CD, 100,000 Rio, and 1 skill, a very strange skill, and it's called Purification, but thanks to Vega it was remade into another and it was already stronger and is called Banishment. As the name suggests, it helps to banish all evil spirits. After getting it, farming became even easier. Just gather a big group, cast Banish on them and you're done. Too bad it doesn't work on the boss. So you have to do it the old-fashioned way. And how did I understand that KD is a currency in the system store? And that's why I decided to postpone the store. But today I decided that I had saved up enough, and by the way, the conversation with Kurama was very boring. In general, I didn't learn anything interesting. But watching the fox's face when he found out who I was, it's priceless. Vega, open the store. I said. Shop. 1 equipment. 2 abilities. 3 potions. 4 DNA. 5 magic books. 6 auction. I wonder if you can buy demon and angel DNA here? Vega, open tab 4. I said hopefully. Store, DNA. 1 dragon DNA, 150,000 CD. 2 angel DNA, 150,000 KD. 3 demon DNA, 150,000 CD. 4 vampire DNA, 100,000 KD. 5 Yukai DNA, 100,000 AC. Vega, buy DNA from angels and demons, then combine them with mine and make the fox DNA dominant. I commanded. This action is best carried out on the first level of the dungeon, to avoid unwanted consequences, and having received my consent, he moved me. What happened after I don't know because I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I felt everything differently, my body became lighter and stronger, but did not lose elasticity. My vision also improved, now I can see every leaf on a tree that is several kilometers away from me. I need to check the status. Vega, show me the status. I said, going into a stupor. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 7 years. Level, 500, 10.3%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Demigod. Life, 5,500. Regeneration, 250 units/SEC. Energy, 250,000. Energy regeneration, 500 units/SEC. Strength, 300. Dexterity, 300. Stamina, 550. Intelligence, 270. Wisdom, 180. Free points, 1167. Skills. Sword Art, level 99. Hand-to-hand combat, level 128. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 137. Cooking. Level 200. Cartography, level 100. Energy management, level 170. Language skills, max level. Throwing weapon proficiency, level 98. Fire control, level 100. Light control, level 100. Darkness control, level 100. Earth control, level 50. Water control, level 50. Lightning control, level 40. Wind control, level 20. Relationship with the elements. Earth 50%. Water 50%. Wind 50%. Fire 100%. Lightning 60%. Darkness 100%. Light 100%. Wood 40%. Chaos 39%. Order 19%. Space 40%. Time 40%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. By mixing with the DNA of angels and demons, your affinity with elements such as light and darkness has reached its maximum value. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, visual response increases by 3 times. 3 Tomo, increases visual response by 5 times. Improves memory. Ability to discern chakra flow combinations when performing hand seals. Jujutsu Manjikyu Sharingan. 1 ability? 2 ability? 3 ability? Vega. I understand everything of course, but how the hell did I become a demigod? And why are the Manjikyu abilities unknown, and what's more interesting, where did I get it from? It's good that I'm in a dungeon, otherwise the entire land of fire would have come running. Shiro, you became a half-god because you mixed your DNA with the opposite, and the inactive genes were awakened. In the future you will be able to become a real fox god, and the abilities of the Manjikyu are unknown because they have not been awakened yet. He said, and I remained standing in a stupor. Comment on Academy and Store. Sorry it took so long, but no one has cancelled the MDC. Thank you very much for reading and pointing out my mistakes. First day of the Academy. Yeah, I didn't think I'd become so strong so quickly. But as they say, there's always someone stronger, so I won't stop training. I still need to get used to these powers. Vega, tell me, how can I open the Manjikyu abilities? I asked, after which I began to examine the body. Outwardly, nothing had changed, but in terms of characteristics, it became much better than before. I don't know, maybe they will open up over time. Now I recommend that you go to the real world and prepare to enter the academy and continue to keep your energy level at 10,000. He said and began to move me back. I woke up in the same dilapidated room with only one window with a beautiful view of the wall of the neighboring house. Well, I forgot that I have to go to the academy tomorrow. I need to read some history and propaganda and understand the geography of this world a little, so that if I get caught, I'll know where to go. In general, my plan is to pass the exam after a year of training and go to Hiruzen in ANBU. As they say, if you want to hide something, put it in the most visible place, and since bookmarks don't work on me, nothing bad will happen. I also need to visit Naruto, because I feel really sorry for him, and Minato promised to go with Kushina. I won't do anything significant, but I can easily treat him there and give him milk from a bottle, and check if there's an idiot trying to kill him. Once I got so angry that I killed the teacher who threw him into the far corner of the room with her dye demon. That night, she learned the difference between a child and a demon. What's most interesting is that after that they didn't even start looking for her, and after it happened again they didn't risk mocking him like that, and because I did it secretly people started thinking that he was protected by the fox spirit. They started to fear him and hate him a little more than in canon, but they didn't touch him. Heh, and people aren't that far from the truth. I returned home at night, ate a little and drank some tea, and asked for Vega before going to bed. Vega, wake me up tomorrow at 5 o'clock so I can get ready, I said, already falling asleep. Here I am sitting on a tree branch and looking, and there is something to look at. Here are the Uchiha standing like gophers. Here are the Hyugas, all out of themselves, a brick face, a wheel chest and contempt for everyone in their eyes. Well, the Nara are sloths. The Aburame with their beetles, what are they talking to them for? And the old monkey is broadcasting his propaganda, saying that we are the best, the greatest and other heresy. Yeah, to say the same thing for 5 hours, I have to give him credit, because even I can't do that. Later, when I was assigned, I ended up in guess where? That's right, in the elite class. And I want to say one thing, what kind of girls are here? I have never experienced such fear. I thought I would literally be eaten. Now I think I'll finish half a year earlier than I planned. And the boys look at me with hatred. But at least one thing makes me happy, when the teacher comes, everyone sits down, but still occasionally looks at me. And then our teacher started talking. So now I am your teacher for the next 4 years, my name is Amori, and my dream is to become the head of the academy. Now I say my name and you tell me about yourself just like me, he said and started to name names. I'll tell you honestly I missed almost all of them, but I remembered some. For example, this is Momo Uchiha, and I remembered her because of her character and appearance, how can I say? Well, do you remember the henchie did? So it's an exact copy, only the hair and eyes are black, but otherwise 1-to-1. And the second one is Shiba Nara who after he said the name fell on the desk, and fell asleep, just like that he just went and fell asleep. Oh, here it is my turn. Okay, so now Shiro stand up and introduce yourself to the class. He said after which almost the entire class turned to look at me. My name is Shiro, I'll keep my dream to myself. I said with a slight smile, then sat back down. Well, what can I say? It was very boring. I think that at least in ANBU it will be better and I already know what call sign and mask I will take. Yeah, I barely got away. Damn, how do they find me? I can hide from ANBU and from the Hyuga with their eyes, but these beasts find me every damn time. The only salvation is the dungeon, and because the affinity with the elements of space and time is now higher, I can both speed up and slow down time in the dungeon. Now it's not 1-to-10, but 1-to-30 and that's super. I think next week I'll go to the 4th level dungeon and test my strength there. And I also found one interesting thing, if you meditate and at the same time change the speed of time in the dungeon, then the affinity increases over time. The same with other elements, and for now I'll return home and as usual cook something, take a shower and go to bed. Commentary on first day of academy. Thank you for reading. Equals 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 an unexpected meeting. Equals 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 equals. This is the third day I've been going to the academy. The only thing that's changed is that another person has started following me, although it's not even a person, but a black Zetsu. I didn't count on it, but it's even to my advantage. Well, I'll wait until it's over and go meet him. Well, I'm walking down the street alone, and I got rid of the ANBU with the help of clones. So he's left alone with me. Well, I need to give him a proper greeting. Hey, Black. Why are you following me? I asked and started to transfer us to the dungeon. He definitely didn't expect that. Look how surprised he is. His eyes are about to fall out. Well, that's right, you want to go underground, but you can't. Who are you? He asked me, starting to prepare for battle. But upon hearing my words, he fell into a stupor. Yeah, I thought you'd have some manners. Well, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Shiro. And before you ask your next question. Yeah, I know everything, and my goal is just to at least talk to Kagaya. Maybe I'll even help you. I said, just walking past and sitting down on a chair, started pouring tea into 2 mugs and called Zetsu to sit opposite. He stood there for a while. Then he came over and sat down. After about 5 minutes of silence, he spoke. My name is Kuro Zetsu. I have a few questions for you, and after receiving my nod he continued. First, how do you know all this, and second, what is this place, he asked, starting to examine the area. Well, let's start with the fact that I call this place a dungeon, and how do I know all this? With these words, I took the form of a kitsune and released my aura. Let's say that I saw the past and I didn't like it. The way she was betrayed by those she loved, first her husband, and then her children. She reminds me of my past life. I was treated the same way, but we have slightly different endings. She was imprisoned, and I was simply stabbed with a knife by those I loved, but I managed to take revenge and take 40% of the land of that planet with me to the next world. As I spoke, my expression became gloomy. I stopped only when I noticed that Zetsu could not breathe normally. Sorry, because of old memories, I lost control of myself. Here, it should help, I said, holding out a mug of tea. To my surprise, he accepted it without unnecessary questions. You just said that you died, but then how can you sit here with me now, and this is not Ito Tensei as far as I understand, he asked, looking at me. Zetsu, you know that there are many more worlds, right? Well, there are not only worlds, but also entire universes, similar and not so similar, as well as completely different ones. For example, I think that there is a universe in which Kagaya rules this planet, or where there is a person who is able to destroy this very universe with a simple sneeze. So such a case as with my soul is not the only one. I just did not lose my personality and strove to become stronger and live the way I want, I said, looking at Zetsu. He was deep in thought again. It was only after about 20 minutes that he looked at me and began to speak. Judging by your strength, you have no reason to lie to me. But I still don't understand why you're telling me this. I'm only interested in whether you can help me, he asked. When the time comes, I will help you. After all, as I said, it will be interesting for me to talk to her, I said, moving us back, having previously changed my appearance back to a human. See you later, I said as I walked away towards home. Well, I don't have to wait that long. If something happens, I myself can free her from this prison. I'm running out of patience. But I need to wait and become even stronger and raise my skills to the maximum. Only then will I be able to allow myself to relax. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I let Kurama walk around in the subconscious, otherwise he felt really bad after he learned the whole truth from me. Yes, I was in the same situation and let him be alone. Well, I think I'll just sit over the scrolls until the end of the day. Commentary on unexpected meeting. Sorry for the delay, I have a problem with my studies, releasing a group so to speak. Equals 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 umbu equals 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 equals. 4 months have passed since that conversation, 4 very boring months, and now I'm walking to the Hokage building. Why did I go there? It's simple, I want to pass the exam early and go to ANBU. It will be more interesting there. Well, I hope so. Because I can't stand a few more years in this academy. These girls have already gotten on my nerves. I calmly asked them to leave me alone and yelled at them, but they didn't leave me alone. The only way out is to go to ANBU, they will pay money and give you a better room. Damn, I can even buy the entire country of fire with the money that drops from the dungeon. Just by the way, I have about 150 million Rio in my inventory. Where should I put them? Well, okay, by the way, I decided not to go to the dungeon for now. I'll fully adapt to my strength and only then will I be able to go. So I enter the Hokage building and head towards the secretary. Hello, where can I take the Genin exam early? I asked the secretary, who turned out to be a man of about 48 years old. HM? Oh yeah, now fill out these forms and go to the internal testing ground, he told me and turned back to finish his work. Thank you. I said and finished filling out the forms, and after that an ANBU in a mouse mask appeared next to me and told me to follow him. Upon arrival at the training ground, which seemed normal, but in fact I was being followed. Apparently they decided to check me out, oh well. After I showed the standard academy techniques, the same ANBU attacked me, but I was able to dodge and attack in the solar plexus area. It's good that I didn't hit with all my strength, otherwise even Orochimaru and Tsunade wouldn't have been able to gather this poor guy. But he managed to jump. But I had already launched a weak fireball towards him, which I ran after and grabbed the katana that was lying on the stand. And I wanted to slash his chest, but I stopped when I heard Hiruzen's voice. Enough. We have already assessed your powers and to be honest, you surprised us, said this monkey in a human body. Thank you Mr. Hokage, but what kind of test was that? I asked, pretending to be tired. Thanks to your grades at the academy and the test that was on the form that my secretary gave you, we realized that your knowledge is much more extensive than what is taught at the academy, and this fight was a test of your fighting skills. He said with a smile. Then he continued. And you have lived up to our expectations. Because of this, I offer you the opportunity to join ANBU under my command or root ANBU under Elder Danzo, said that monkey. Oh well. Thank you, Mr. Hokage. I want to join ANBU under your leadership, I said, pretending to be as happy as a cat who found a jar of sour cream. Okay. Then starting tomorrow you will be interning in the Dog and Raven team, and after a week of internship you will transfer to the Dog team. What call sign did you choose? He said looking at me. Mr. Hokage, I want to take the call sign Fox. I said and began to watch his reaction and surprisingly, zero emotions. The same mask of the old and kind grandfather. Okay, you'll get your mask after you finish your internship. He said and left. And I was sent home to collect my things and prepare to move to the ANBU dorm. 1 year has passed. What can I say about their dorm? It's a real luxury class after the old one. True, the entrance is through the window, but it's even better. About the missions, I'll say only one thing, track down and kill, track down and report, and I thought that at least something would be interesting here. Well, training, yeah, I learned to simulate fatigue so well that even Stanislavski would say, I believe it. During this time I bought myself a small house and the territory next to it. As it turned out, the territory of the Senju clan is sold by the hand of our highly respected Kage. During this time I still went to that dungeon and I can say that it was very, very easy, but as a reward for the first kill of the boss of the old dragon, as it turned out, it was a female. I was given a dragon egg and I decided to grow it. Well, and so I helped Zetsu a little. By the way, here is my status at the moment. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 9 years. Level, 940, 10.3%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Demigod, Ultimate. Life, 12,000. Regeneration, 1,000 units/SEC. Energy, 400,000. Energy regeneration, 1,500 units/SEC. Strength, 700. Dexterity, 720. Stamina, 1,200. Intelligence, 500. Wisdom, 300. Free points, 1167. Skills. Sword Art, level 150. Hand-to-hand combat, level 169. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 200. Cooking, max level. Cartography, max level. Energy management, level 200. Language skills, max level. Throwing weapon proficiency, level 140. Fire control, max level. Light control, max level. Darkness control, max level. Earth control, level 90. Water control, level 90. Lightning control, level 70. Wind control, level 70. Relationship with the elements. Earth 70%. Water 70%. Wind 70%. Fire 100%. Lightning 80%. Darkness 100%. Light 100%. Wood 60%. Chaos 50%. Order 34%. Space 60%. Time 60%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. By mixing with the DNA of angels and demons, your affinity with elements such as light and darkness has reached its maximum value. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, visual response increases by 3 times. 3 Tomo, visual reaction increases by 5 times. Memory improvements. The ability to discern chakra flow combinations when performing hand seals. Jujutsu Manjikyu Sharingan. 1 ability absolute control Amaterasu. 2 ability full Susanoo, strength depends on the amount of energy put into it, has 6 hands in which are the weapon that the owner wants. 3 ability? Commentary on ANBU. Thank you very much for reading. Leaving ANBU and canon. Yeah, a lot of time has passed. I think I just graduated from the academy, and now I'm retiring as a Special Forces commander. What happened to me during this time? Well, I became equal in power to a mid-rank god, found 7 more time travelers and absorbed the systems of 4 of them. All I got from this was a store update and that's it. No, don't get me wrong, I only killed those I considered freaks. Who gave them the right to kill ordinary people to level up? Their system had a dungeon function, but they enjoyed killing them. That's why I killed them, and I don't touch those who behave normally. I even became friends with one, a normal guy. Also from Russia like me, only from a different universe. Heh, he's head over heels in love with Tsunade, no, not because of her breasts, but her character. By the way, his name is Kuro, and before that, Sasha. When he found out that I was already a half-god, he was shocked, and when I told him that I was just a little bit away from becoming a god, he went into shock. He's funny. I accompanied Dame and his family a couple more times, but nothing interesting happened to me in Konoha. But Zetsu, I was even very pleased. In addition to Akatsuki, after he learned from me that this universe is not the only one, he suggested creating another organization. It was given a very interesting name Noragami. This name was given by me and Zetsu. It includes all adequate time travelers, and such a name because it was decided that as soon as the rest reach the rank of god, they will go to other worlds, marking this world as the beginning or base. Everyone agreed with our idea. After all, if everything works out, we will become a whole clan of gods, which will have resources for everything we want. I also learned about the Owatsutsuki clan. They sit in their dimension and fight for power in their clan. In general, they behave like spiders in a jar. I learned about this from one refugee. He ran away with his family and is looking for a quiet place. And when I offered him to settle somewhere on Earth, He agreed, but on the condition that his family will not participate in battles. As it turned out, he is a scientist. And I was also able to get into my personal subspace. It is currently the size of the moon, but it can develop and become my personal universe where I am the creator. And I awakened not the Rinnegan, but the Rinne-Sharingan. And all because I looked through the memories of one hitman. I have never experienced such hatred. This freak simply raped girls and killed them. And plunged into an illusion where he died billions of times. Because I invested about 500,000 energy, even his defense system could not withstand. Here is my status. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 20 years. Level. 1500, 10.3%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Fox God, middle rank. Life, 150,000. Regeneration, 10,000 units/SEC. Energy, 1 million. Energy regeneration, 50,000 units/SEC. Strength, 1,639. Dexterity, 1,711. Stamina, 2,656. Intelligence, 1,000. Wisdom, 600. Free points, 11679. Skills. Sword Art, level 300. Hand-to-hand combat, 340 level. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, level 400. Cooking, max level. Cartography, max level. Energy management, level 700. Language skills, max level. Throwing weapon proficiency, level 467. Fire control, max level. Light control, max level. Darkness control, max level. Earth management, level 190. Water control, level 190. Lightning control, level 189. Wind control, level 180. Relationship with the elements. Earth, 99%. Water, 99%. Wind, 99%. Fire, 100%. Lightning, 99%. Darkness, 100%. Light, 100%. Wood, 99%. Chaos, 89%. Order, 68%. Space, 100%. Time, 100%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy. Size manipulation is possible. By mixing with the DNA of angels and demons, your affinity with elements such as light and darkness has reached its maximum value. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, visual response increases by 3 times. 3 Tomo, visual reaction increases by 5 times. Memory improvements. The ability to discern chakra flow combinations when performing hand seals. Jujutsu Manjikyu Sharingan. 1 ability Absolute Control Amaterasu. 2 ability Full Susanoo, strength depends on the amount of energy put into it, has 6 hands in which are the weapon that the owner wants. 3 ability Eternal Illusion. Jujutsu Rinne Sharingan. 1 Limbo ability. 2 ability Spatial Rupture. 3 ability to rewind time, 1 hour equals 10,000 units of energy. Well, that's how it is. Now I stand in front of Hiruzen and start a conversation. Mr. Hokage, I have come to ask you to resign. I said, looking into his eyes. Why do you want to resign? He asked in surprise. As you remember, I was with Mr. Forth at the time of his death. He asked me to help his son when he graduated from the academy. And as you know, I have been helping him all this time. Now I am asking for my resignation so that I can become one of the captains of his team. I said, surprising everyone present in the room except Hiruzen himself. Okay, since this is a request from the immortal fox himself, then I can't help but fulfill it," he said with a smile. Remembering my mission back then, I stole a scroll from the Cloud Village. It so happened that the balance of power was 8 to 100 and I decided to make a name for myself by covering the retreat of my group. When they started throwing kunai and a couple of swords at us, I covered my group with my body and was covered with kunai like a hedgehog, but I rushed to break through the stunned enemies. My squad and the support squad that had just arrived were watching this. At the end of the battle, I was carried on a stretcher without pulling out the kunai and swords from me. When we arrived at the gates of Konoha, we were met by the heads of the clans and Hiruzen himself. When they saw me getting up from the rape, they were scared, but I just came up and said that the mission was a success and passed out. I woke up in the hospital, all in bandages, and strangely enough, Tsunade was sleeping nearby in a chair. I started to unwrap the bandages and at that moment Hiruzen came in and Tsunade woke up looking at me with pleasure and shock. And Tsunade ran to me saying, "What are you doing? Your wounds haven't been covered yet." She didn't have time to finish speaking before she looked at my body, which didn't have a single scar. And then we did a DNA test to find out if I was Senju, and to their surprise I turned out to be not only Senju but also Uchiha. But let's return to the present. "Thank you, Lord Hokage," I said with a smile. "Tomorrow at 8, come to the academy to meet Naruto's team, and thanks to your service, you will bear the title of Elite Jonin from this day on." "That's all, you are free to go," he said. "Hi," I said and went home. Well, here's the canon. I hope I haven't changed it too much. Although what difference does it make? Commentary on leaving ANBU and canon. The chapter will be after tomorrow somewhere around 22:30. Thank you for reading. It makes me very happy. First missions of team number 7 Here I am standing in front of the office door and thinking, at first I was going to leave Konoha, but now I have a team, was the captain of the ANBU Special Forces, have a nice mansion and bought a decent part of the Senju clan territory. Yeah, well it's time to start entering the office. "Hello, my name is Shiro and I am one of the captains of team number 7. I said with a smile. And then Iruka noticed me. "Oh hello Shiro-san, and the second captain is Hitaki Kakashi. You guys are lucky, Immortal Fox and Copy Ninja will be your captains," Iruka said, after which Sakura started asking questions. "Iruka-sensei, why did you name them Immortal Fox and Copy Ninja?" she asked. "I think they will answer these questions themselves," Iruka said with a smile. "Yes, we still have to wait for Kakashi to arrive. And to answer your question, Sakura, Kakashi was called a copy ninja because he copied more than 1,000 different techniques, and I was called an Immortal Fox because until recently I worked in ANBU, and on one of the missions, when I stayed to cover the retreat of my comrades, they literally made a pillow for pins out of me. Well, let's not dwell on this, let's get acquainted. As you have already heard, my name is Shiro, and I refused my last name. I like to read and cook, and I don't like traitors and people who allow themselves too much, well, and I will keep my dreams to myself. And now it's your turn," I said and pointed at Sakura. "My name is Sakura Haruno, I love Kya. I dream of Kya. And I hate Naruto," she said looking at Sasuke. Okay. Now you." I pointed at Sasuke. "My name is Sasuke Uchiha, what I love and don't love is none of your business, the goal is to take revenge on one person," said our Avenger. "Well, at least something. Now it's your turn." I pointed at Naruto. "My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I love ramen. And I don't like it when people accuse me of things I didn't do. My dream is to become Hokage." It seems I changed his character a little. Well, that's even for the better. It's a good dream, Naruto, only you will need to train a lot. I think I will help you with that. Now go ahead, you can ask me about anything except missions. We still have about an hour to wait anyway," I said and started listening to the questions. Sasuke is Sasuke and that says it all. Naruto asked about ramen and, strangely, asked when we would start training. And Sakura was silent for a long time but still asked. "Shiro-san, what was your last name and why did you give it up?" she asked, and everyone listened. "Heh, I thought you wouldn't ask." "Well, okay, I'll answer. I had 2 last names, Senju and Uchiha, but I gave them up because my parents threw me out. A girl literally found me in the trash when she was going to throw out the trash. I found my parents 10 years ago when I did a DNA test, and it turned out that I am the son of the elder of the Uchiha clan, Goro Uchiha and Misato Senju. As it turned out, my father abandoned me because he thought that I could not awaken the Sharingan. But he was wrong. Now I am the only owner of the Manjikyu Sharingan in Konoha," I said, "and Sasuke said that I cannot be an Uchiha." "You can't be an Uchiha. Your eyes are red and they can't be awakened." Before he could finish speaking, I activated the Manjikyu Sharingan and looked at him. Yes, I've heard all this, maybe you can come up with something new?" "I don't care what they think of me," I said and turned to Kakashi, who had entered. "As always, you're late, Captain. How long can you read your obscenities, huh? Find yourself a girlfriend already, or I'll find you a girlfriend myself," I said with a sly smile, which made him sweat. "And what about you?" "I'm only 7 years older than you, and you treat me like an old man," he said. "Okay, you better get to know the team, and just in case, I advise you to at least go on a couple of dates with Anko. She will help you forget about the past and move on to the future. As for me, I have already found myself a girlfriend and am waiting to meet her," I said as I left the office. "Yeah, tomorrow at 10 in the morning to the training ground, we'll check them out," he said. Then I went to the market for groceries and to Hiruzen so that Naruto could move into one of the houses I bought. Commentary on the first missions of Team Number 7. Thank you for reading and pointing out my mistakes. Secret mission. From Naruto's POV. After everyone left, I went to Ichiraku and thought, who is this Shiro? When at the distribution they said that Kakashi would be our captain, no one reacted, but when Iruka said that Shiro would also be our captain, everyone froze and opened their mouths. After meeting him, there were even more questions. He is very strong and, as he said, he has the blood of 2 founding clans. Okay, I'm tired of all this today, I'll go home and sleep. What's ANBU doing in front of my apartment door? Hello, do you need something from me? I asked. Lord Hokage is calling for you. Come immediately. The ANBU said in a cold tone. Okay, by the way, can you tell me who Shiro is? I asked, hoping to get at least some hint. All your questions are answered. He didn't have time to finish speaking before a familiar voice interrupted him. Oh, finally found him. He's talking to ANBU? Looks like I changed him a lot. Oh well. That's good for me. Oh, Naruto. I was just looking for you. Let's go to the old man, he wants to give you a gift. I said with a smile and turned to the ANBU in the raccoon mask. Raccoon, come with us, let's talk, I said with the same smile. Okay Shiro-sama, he said. As we walked to the Hokage, Naruto only occasionally said something, most of the way he just listened. It seems that I didn't take the bookmarks off him in vain when I was a child. So we entered Hiruzen's office. Naruto, I have 2 pieces of good news and 1 piece of not so good news, he said with a smile and interest. What, Grandpa Hiruzen? He calls him Grandpa, not old man. Firstly, you're moving to a new house. Secondly, you can now walk around the village without fear, and finally, thirdly, Shiro is becoming your personal trainer, he said with a smile. Allah, no boundaries. All the ANBU in the office fell from the ceiling, and the raccoon froze, remembering how I trained them. This is just super, he shouted. Grandpa Hiruzen, why did you say that 2 are good and 1 is not so good if all of them are good? He asked, puzzled. Well, you'll find out later, but now Shiro will show you the house you'll be living in. Hiruzen said. Well, Naruto, shall we go? I asked, walking towards the exit. After we left the Hokage building, we walked in silence for a while, but I asked a question. Tell me Naruto, why are you acting like an idiot? You're already at the level of a strong genin, if not a weak chunin, or am I wrong? After my question, he froze. So you noticed, huh? No, you're not mistaken. And as you said, I'm pretending to be an idiot so as not to attract unnecessary attention. And since we're on the subject, I also have a question for you, he said. Well, ask. I said, looking at him with interest. Are you the one who always helped me? Heh, and he's smart. Yes. As you probably already know, you are the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. Well, I can tell you that you are not the only one. I said, and to my surprise he answered calmly. I know the fox told me that you have his dark side in you. But he can't figure out what's wrong with you, he said looking at me. Ha ha ha. I didn't think you'd get along with him so quickly. Did he even tell you his name? I asked. No. He doesn't like me very much, so to speak, he said, scratching the back of his head. Well, let's get to your new house there and talk together, I said, walking on. We walked in silence. Naruto was visibly cowering under the gaze of passers-by. Well, it will pass with time. Here we are standing in front of a two-story building with a small garden. Naruto looks with disbelief that now this really is not a dream. So, Naruto, how do you like the house? It's all yours now. The house itself and the land underneath it. I said. Maybe you'll be a good host and let me into the house? I continued with a grin. Commentary on Secret Mission. Thank you very much for reading and for your help. And special thanks to Ivan_Cloyne for awarding the fanfic. Conversation. Yeah, Naruto's joy knew no bounds. It seemed like he was about to cry. It's okay, Naruto, you'll get another present today and you'll like it. I said with a kind smile. After he got over the shock, we went to the kitchen and sat down to drink tea. After a few minutes of silence, Naruto asked me, "Why are you helping me? Why did you take care of me and protect me? And what gift were you talking about?" he asked with mixed feelings. "Now you will know everything," I said, placing my hand on his head. We found ourselves in his subconscious right next to Kurama's cage. "Hey! Carpet, are you still alive in there?" I shouted into the depths of the cage under Naruto's surprised gaze. "What did you call me?" came the cry. "A rug, is something wrong?" "Sit quietly and talk to your other half, and I still have a serious conversation ahead," I said, transferring Kurama from my subconscious here. Tell him everything," I said, turning to Naruto. "Naruto, do you see the seal on the gate?" "Yes." "Tear off the edge of the seal and greet the guests," I said, looking at him with a smile. He approached the seal, and as soon as he began to tear off the seal, Minato stopped him. "Naruto, don't open his cage," he said, looking at him with a serious face. "Hello, Minato-san, as I promised you and your wife, I took care of your son, and as for the seal, you don't have to worry. If something goes wrong, I can put another one. So everything is under control," I said, bowing slightly. "Naruto, this is your father. I'm sure you have something to talk about, so I'll go talk to the fox. And Minato-san, I have a proposal for you. I will resurrect you in Kushina. No, this is not Edo Tensei. I have become strong enough during this time, and I would like to go on a long journey, and because of Hiruzen and Danzo, I can't leave Naruto alone for long. Those old devils put so many bookmarks on him that it took me 8 days to remove them," I said with sadness in my voice. "Shiro, you've grown older and you've held back your communication. Please, Shiro, if you can truly resurrect me in Kushina, then I beg you to do it. After all, the only wish we have left is to see Naruto grow up," he said with a pleading voice. And then the foxes came up to us and the light part of the fox spoke. "Minato, if I were you, I would add San to his name or just call him Lord Fox." "Ha ha ha ha," the fox growled and burst into laughter. "Shiro, what is the fox talking about?" Minato said with a frown. "Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, but I was born a kitsune. And after everything I went through, I became the god of all foxes. So now, I can consider myself more of a fox than a human," I said, showing my true form. "That's why I said that I can resurrect you. After which I will go on a journey." Well, I will resurrect you after leaving Naruto's subconscious, I said, looking at them. Here you want to ask me, why did I suddenly decide to resurrect Minato and Kushina? And I will answer, because I brought the kinship with time and space to the maximum, then I can calmly change time in the dungeon, thanks to which I want to reach the ultimate level of God, and only then free Kagaya and go to other worlds. Because the canon is broken, there will be no war, because Zetsu is going to destroy Akatsuki as unnecessary, and because I created a clan here with other time travelers, they will monitor everything that happens here because this is our territory and we are responsible for it. And as it turned out, we are in the farthest corner of this universe, so no one will be strong. We are all already stronger than Hagoromo. So all I can do is go to new worlds. They had such funny faces that I almost laughed. After exiting the subconscious, I went to the system store and bought the corpses of Minato and Kushina. Yeah, what can't you find there? Here are photos from Naruto and Satsuki's wedding, the female version of Sasuke, here is BFG 10,000 from Doom, and there is even a Death Star from Star Wars. Well, in general, I resurrected them quickly, only Shinigami was acting up until I released all my aura. As it turned out, he is at the rank of a middle god. Then came the family reunion. Kushina was hugging Naruto, and Minato was watching with a smile. And after an hour and a half, Kushina looked at me and said, "Thank you very much, Shiro. If it weren't for you, I don't know what would have happened to Naruto. And also, Minato told me that you are a kitsune, is that true?" she asked with a gleam in her eyes. "Yes, I am a kitsune, is there something wrong?" I asked, starting to transform into a kitsune and tilting my head to the side. This was my biggest mistake in this life. At first only Kushina squeezed me, then Naruto joined in the end Minato, under the pretext that it was for safety reasons, also began to touch my ears. After another 20 minutes I climbed onto the ceiling and took on a human form. And only the next morning we headed to the Hokage building, and in order not to attract attention I simply teleported us straight to Hiruzen's office, who was already there. "What is the meaning of all this, Shiro? If this is a prank, then be so kind as to explain yourself," he said in an angry voice. "It's all real, old man. Do you remember what I said when I first entered your service? If not, I'll remind you. I said that if I find out that you were to blame for the death of Minato and Kushina, I will do everything in my power to make you pay for it, and as you know, I always do what I promise," I said with a truly devilish smile. "And as you can see, I kept my communication. The real Minato and Kushina are standing in front of you, and as you can see, this is not an illusion or Edo Tensei," I said, sitting down on the couch. Commentary on conversation. Sorry for the confusion in this chapter. Kagaya will be here tomorrow. Thanks for still reading. Beaming face with smiling eyes. Long awaited meeting. After Hiruzen realized what I was talking about, he started sweating. He knows that he can't defeat me, and since Minato and Kushina are still here, he has no chance at all. "What are you talking about, Shiro? I've always helped them and would never touch them, and besides, I have no reason to do so," he said with condemnation. What an old monkey. If it weren't for his empathy, he would have thought he was wrong. "Old man, you know I can't be fooled. At least I know everything about you, even the things you yourself have already forgotten," I said, while Minato and his family sat silently and listened calmly. "But still, I think you're wrong. It was probably one of the elders. You know, they were like family to me," he said with some regret in his voice, but there was only panic in his emotions. I thought you already guessed, but I'll say it anyway. I removed all the bookmarks from the elders, clan heads, and most of the shinobi in the village. So you won't be able to do anything to me or Minato and his family. You lost, old man," I said, then snapped my fingers and the entire top of Konoha entered the office. "I only tried for the good of Konoha. You are not the one to judge me," he began to shout. But Hayashi interrupted him. "Hiruzen, you were not trying for the good of the village, but only for yourself, not even for your clan. As soon as Shiro removed the bookmarks from us and we regained control over our own minds, we realized everything that happened, and then he showed us your memories. We were ready to go and destroy everything that you did together with you. But Shiro asked to wait, because he wants to resurrect Minato and showed us his eyes. We agreed. And today you will not escape responsibility for the actions you have committed, he said, looking at Hiruzen as if he were a worthless person, which he is. As I promised. He's all yours, do whatever you want with him, and it's time for me to go on my journey, I said, starting to get up from the couch. Wait, Shiro, stay until the moment of his execution so that everyone can say goodbye to you, otherwise it will turn out that the hero of the village who brought the criminal to justice is not present during the sentencing. Shikakunara, Shikamaru's father, said. No, guys, I still have a lot of things to do, so without me, I said, already getting ready to leave, but the voices of Naruto and Kushina stopped me. We'll meet again, Shiro? They asked together. Heh, I told you so. This is a planet that I can call my home, so we will definitely meet. Besides, I promised to train Naruto, I said and teleported to the Valley of Completion. After I teleported, I immediately entered the dungeon with maximum time dilation, and this 1 day in the normal world is equal to 1,000 days in the dungeon. Well, I think a week will be enough. A week later. Yeah, it's good that the body doesn't age in the dungeon, otherwise I would look 90 or even 100 years old. Well, in this week, although for me 19 years and more have passed, I have achieved the ultimate rank of God, and to become a true God I need to fully understand at least one element completely, and I'm not talking about kinship, but about understanding. In the meantime, here are my statistics after leaving the dungeon. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 20 years. Level, 2500, 10.3%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Fox God, ultimate rank. Life, 260,000. Regeneration, 15,000 units/SEC. Energy, 6 million. Energy regeneration, 100,000 units/SEC. Strength, 2,350. Dexterity, 2,190. Stamina, 4,000. Intelligence, 5,000. Wisdom, 1,500. Free points, 70,790. Skills. Sword Art, level 500. Hand-to-hand combat, 540 level. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, max level. Cooking, max level. Cartography, max level. Energy management, max level. Language skills, max level. Throwing weapon proficiency, level 576. Fire control, max level. Light control, max level. Darkness control, max level. Earth control, level 250. Water control, level 250. Lightning control, level 300. Wind control, level 200. Relationship with the elements. Earth 100%. Water 100%. Wind 100%. Fire 100%. Lightning 100%. Darkness 100%. Light 100%. Wood 100%. Chaos 99%. Order 98%. Space 100%. Time 100%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. By mixing with the DNA of angels and demons, your affinity with elements such as light and darkness has reached its maximum value. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, visual response increases by 3 times. 3 Tomo, visual reaction increases by 5 times. Memory improvements. The ability to discern chakra flow combinations when performing hand seals. Jujutsu Manjikyu Sharingan. 1 ability Absolute Control Amaterasu. 2 ability Full Susanoo, strength depends on the amount of energy put into it, has 6 hands in which are the weapon that the owner wants. 3 ability Eternal Illusion. Jujutsu Rinne Sharingan. 1 Limbo ability. 2 ability Spatial Rupture. 3 ability to rewind time, 1 hour equals 10,000 units of energy. I already have a lot of free points, I think it's worth distributing them, but not all of them. Status. Name, Shiro. Body age, 20 years. Level, 2500, 10.3%. Race, Kitsune. Shinobi. Fox God, ultimate rank. Life, 500,000. Regeneration, 50,000 units/SEC. Energy, 10 million. Energy regeneration, 500,000 units/SEC. Strength, 5,000. Dexterity, 5,000. Stamina, 10,000. Intelligence, 8,000. Wisdom, 3,000. Free points, 55,770. Skills. Sword Art, level 500. Hand-to-hand combat, 540 level. Firearms proficiency, level 62. Archery, max level. Cooking, max level. Cartography, max level. Energy management, max level. Language skills, max level. Throwing weapon proficiency, level 576. Fire control, max level. Light control, max level. Darkness control, max level. Earth control, level 250. Water control, level 250. Lightning control, level 300. Wind control, level 200. Relationship with the elements. Earth 100%. Water 100%. Wind 100%. Fire 100%. Lightning 100%. Darkness 100%. Light 100%. Wood 100%. Chaos 99%. Order 98%. Space 100%. Time 100%. Genes. Uchiha gives plus 5% to affinity with fire, the ability to awaken the Jujutsu Sharingan and its evolutions. When mixed with the Senju genome, the ability to awaken the Rinnegan. Senju gives plus 5% to affinity with the elements of water and earth. The ability to awaken the element of wood. When mixed with the Uchiha genome, it gives the ability to awaken the Rinnegan and its evolutions. Kitsune, affinity with illusions, improves energy control, ability to change form into a fox and half fox. Kitsune, the size of the fox form depends entirely on the amount of energy, size manipulation is possible. By mixing with the DNA of angels and demons, your affinity with elements such as light and darkness has reached its maximum value. Jujutsu Sharingan. 1 Tomo, increases visual response by 2 times. Improves memory. 2 Tomo, visual response increases by 3 times. 3 Tomo, visual reaction increases by 5 times. Memory improvements. The ability to discern chakra flow combinations when performing hand seals. Jujutsu Manjikyu Sharingan. 1 ability Absolute Control Amaterasu. 2 ability Full Susanoo, strength depends on the amount of energy put into it, has 6 hands in which are the weapon that the owner wants. 3 ability Eternal Illusion. Jujutsu Rinne Sharingan. 1 Limbo ability. 2 ability Spatial Rupture. 3 ability to rewind time, 1 hour equals 10,000 units of energy. I think that with such power I can already go to another world. But still, first I need to meet Kaguya. I teleported to the Rain Village and immediately went to Zetsu. And having found him, I immediately got down to business. So, Zetsu, are you ready to meet Kaguya? I asked, smiling. I'm always ready to meet her, he said, looking seriously into my eyes. Well then let's go to your shelter. There I will free her from captivity, I said, approaching him. As soon as we moved to his hideout, I immediately began to look for where Kaguya was imprisoned. It turned out that she was inside the Gedo statue. Having summoned the body, I immediately used the Rinne Sharingan ability to resurrect her, how good that this ability only takes energy. As soon as I finished, she started showing signs of life. And after about 30 seconds, she opened her eyes and looked first at Zetsu, who was sitting on a chair next to her, and wanted to say something but started looking around where she was until she saw me. When she looked into my eyes, something shot through my head and I saw, as I understood, her whole life. How she grew up in a clan, how she fought for her independence, how she left the clan and came to Earth, after which she met the one she fell in love with, after that same person betrayed her, and everything that happened to her further up until the moment she saw me. Coming out of my stupor, I looked at her again and realized that she was in the same state as I. There were drops of tears in the corners of her eyes. "Hello, Princess Rabbit." That's all I could say mentally, addressing Vega. "Vega, what just happened?" I asked, in shock. "You just got imprinted, Shiro, and as far as I can tell it was mutual, so I congratulate you."